Hey guys, it's Bro You Whack, and there's some more drama revolving around loot boxes and the possibility of them getting banned in the United States. Now there's two things you don't ever mess with. One is my In-N-Out burger from In-N-Out. I love the consistency, I love getting it, just meat, cheese, and bun, don't mess with it, alright? The second thing are loot boxes. You know me, I love loot boxes, I love getting them by leveling up, I love buying them for every single event. It's something I like doing, okay? I don't spend a lot of money on things, but that is one thing that I love to buy. So the fact that it's even a possibility that the FTC could ban loot boxes in the United States region is somewhat scary, and I think that's why a lot of Overwatch channels are covering this topic, because one, it's a big topic, it's loot boxes, and the second reason is because now it's the United States. But before I get ahead of myself, to really refresh you guys, or to even inform you of what's been going on, this thing has been going on for a couple months now. So a while back, the Belgian government was kind of one of the first big countries to really ban loot boxes because they were seen as quote-unquote gambling, and since Overwatch is a T-rated game where kids from 13 all the way to 18 could play the game and quote-unquote gamble with these loot boxes, which is underage gambling, they decided to ban them just straight out from the country. But if you want to hear more details about that situation when it came to Belgium, I made a whole entire video talking about the Belgian gambling laws and how people outside the Overwatch universe could look at loot boxes and deem them gambling worthy because, well, what you're doing is, in a sense, buying these loot boxes, even though there's two forms of getting them, and the big prize here is to be able to get these legendary skins. And if quote-unquote kids don't get that legendary skin, they're willing to spend more money, in a sense gamble, to be able to get these legendary skins. Now the way that I described it is the way that these governments are really looking at loot boxes and why they're having to go back and forth when deciding if it is a form of gambling. But now that exact same situation is brought into the United States because just as of recently, the same argument was brought forth in front of the FTC's chairman's eyes, Joseph Simmons, and he did say that he was going to look into loot boxes and deem if they are quote-unquote underage gambling worthy. So clearly this is a big situation because after Blizzard sells you the game of Overwatch, the way that they make money and how they can continuously update the game for free, by the way, because all these heroes and maps and updates are brought to us for free through the form of us paying for loot boxes. If we pay for these loot boxes in hopes of getting these skins, well, that pays these employees' salaries, and in turn mean we get free updates. This is why this is such a big deal. Yes, if we don't get loot boxes in the future, it will suck because, well, obviously we won't be able to buy more loot boxes to be able to get the skins that we want or be able to get credits so that we can just simply buy the skins that we do want. But then later on down the road, this means less free content, less heroes made, less maps made. It's much more than just simply not being able to get loot boxes anymore. This means less salaries are going to be paid, which means less man hours are going to be worked to be able to provide us free content. And obviously we wouldn't want any of that. We would want these free constant updates, but I'm not trying to be biased here and try to change your perspective on loot boxes. I'm just trying to show you the big picture and show you what loot boxes are for. It's much more than just us as the consumer to be able to get these cosmetic items. It's also to pay for these salaries. So then what is going to be the solution? What can we expect? What should Blizzard do? Obviously I don't work at Blizzard. Obviously I'm not a lawyer working for Blizzard. And also I'm not 100% educated on the gambling laws or how the FTC works or what they're going to deem is worthy as underage gambling. But I do know how loot boxes work, and I do know how gambling works. I'm going to make the same exact argument that I made in the Belgian video right here, and that is when you put $1 in the slot machine, you're not guaranteed anything. The whole point of gambling is that you're hoping to make more money. That's the definition of gambling. If you put $1, you're willing to lose that dollar because that's just how it works. Obviously, this is based on like casino slot machines and whatnot. But when you pay $1 for a loot box, you're guaranteed 4 items. But the gambling aspect here is that obviously we want the better items. Obviously, we want the highlight intros. Obviously, we don't want the sprays. But more importantly, we want these legendary skins. So what the FTC could see a possibility is that kids would want to spend more money to get the possibility of getting these legendary skins. And I can kind of see it from both ends, but the fact here is that you're still guaranteed 4 items. You're paying for 4 guaranteed items. More than likely there's sprays and victory poses, but you're still at least guaranteed 4 items. You're paying for something in return. Gambling, you're paying for possibly nothing in return. But in the US government's eyes, they are very strict with their gambling laws. If you guys don't know, a majority of the United States outlaw gambling altogether. If there's Native American reservations like here in Arizona, obviously they allow it because they're not run under the US government. But if there's even remotely similarities to underage gambling, they're willing to ban it. But the point that I'm trying to make here, and the reason why I'm kind of just talking about all these laws and these possibilities, because I want loot boxes to stay in Overwatch, but I also want to explain to everyone that when you pay for a loot box, you are guaranteed 4 items, but it's kind of up to the user to determine the value based on those items. And there is kind of a value system placed, but it's such a mess here. Blizzard, in my eyes, is a very ethical company. They're willing to put other people's worries to rest by sacrificing a little bit. So even if the FTC doesn't outright ban them, I think they're still even going to think of a solution. So a solution here, and this might be such a stupid, simple solution, all because I don't know how the ESRB rating works. I don't know the acronym, but they could possibly make this an M-rated game, all because there's in-game purchases that are luck-based, and this way, so kids can't just simply go to GameStop, buy the game without their parents' permission. A good parent's now going to be able to monitor what their kid is playing. If they see that there's a luck-based in-app purchases, well, then maybe they won't allow their kid to play that game, all because it's based on luck or quote-unquote gambling. In reality, that solution might just seem very stupid, all because of my lack of law knowledge, but at the end of the day, I don't think Blizzard is going to allow the FTC to ban loot boxes, all because they're seen as gambling. One, because the United States is their biggest market when it comes to making money. When it came to Belgium, that market was way smaller when compared to the United States. So they're going to have their lawyers on top of this loot box drama and making sure that they can keep them in games. And the second reason why I don't think loot boxes will be banned in the US is that even though the US government is very strict for their gambling laws, if it's seen as ethical and if it makes them a crap load of money, they're going to keep it because that is good for the economy. Why would they remove a thing that makes everybody a lot of money, all because of it possibly, you know what I'm trying to say? So if it makes the US government and Blizzard a lot of money, they're not going to get rid of it, dog. But let me know what you think of this whole entire loot box drama. Do you think it's stupid that loot boxes are seen as gambling, or do you like the fact that now loot boxes could possibly get banned? At the end of the day, we're still going to have loot boxes, just not being able to purchase them. We're going to be able to level up and still earn them, but as we know, our luck isn't as good as we like to think, so we won't be able to get these skins. But just let me know what you think. So I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. More Overwatch videos to come, and bye.